Good morning. My name's Karen Kong, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And welcome to my This or That Thursday. So every week I try to post 2 cards to my group and my crafting community, that's you, pick a card for me to make live on Thursday mornings. And today is a really exciting day because yesterday the catalog went live for demonstrators of the new annual, and the retiring lists for the colors came out, and new colors were introduced, and so there's all sorts of exciting stuff that we're seeing as demonstrators, and I'll be posting some of this stuff on my group later today or sometime soon, hopefully, because I want to share it with you. I just have to find some time. Good morning, Sandra. Hi, Tara. Thanks for joining in. I would love to just sit here and talk with you guys about all the new stuff that's coming out and the colors and everything. I have to say, quickly, Bermuda Bay, I can't believe they're like retiring that. Oh, I'm just so sad. That's my favorite blue. We're here to make a card. So, we're making a card with the Love Cats stamp set. I just got it recently, and I had fun playing with it. So, just let me get my my computer set up so that I can see all your comments while we're crafting, okay? Just give me a second. So if you're joining in for the first time, please say hi, tell me where you're watching from, and what the weather is like over there, because, you know, we keep getting teased with spring here, and then it goes and snows again. So last night, you know, I was out at a dinner, and it was snowing. We were sitting in what is normally the patio area, but they had covered it off with winter, but it's definitely chillier. Hi, Sue. Where are you joining from? So they had covered it with a, I don't know, they're panels. I think they're plastic, and they have heating lamps above us, but it was chilly. And we were watching it snow, and I did not expect a snowstorm last night, but it snowed. Okay, here I've got my live setup. There we go. Okay, watching from Wisconsin. I hope it's warmer where you are. Let's see. Okay, so I've got my computer set up. Let me switch over to my desk. Close your eyes because it's going to get a little bit shaky for a few seconds. Just a second. Oh, and Love Cats is retiring. I know. So yes, if you want to get it, you have to get it soon. All right, just give me a second. Here's my desk. And zoom in a little bit. All right. Here we go. So, yeah, Love Cats. Yeah, so many things going to be retired, but there's also things that are going on that I was really happy to see, like Taco Fiesta's going on, to the new annual, and which one? Oh, the Dainty Delights, yes. Oh, sunny where you are, Sue, but not very warm. Yeah, so there's lots to do between now and April 4th when the discounted list goes live and pre-orders for demonstrators go live. Very exciting weekend, I think. Okay, but back to the cards. This one was a fun card, and it's not super hard to make. Pretty easy, and you could, you could just stamp directly, layer your papers and then stamp onto it directly and then get the image, but then you would end up with a gap here, right? You would get like a white gap. So this is, I saw, it's Helen Read in the UK. She's a demonstrator in the UK who made this card. I completely cased hers. So she showed how to create this without getting that gap. And it's really easy. You just have to line everything up, and you need a Stamparatus, which is another thing that's retiring, and I can't believe they're getting rid of it. Like, what are they going to replace that with? I use the Stamparatus all the time. Okay, so let's get started. Let me clear this off so we have some room to work with. And so I also use the Stylish Shapes dies to get the banner for my sentiment. So I'll have that on the side as well. Okay. Let's make our card base. And create our mats. So I have a few pieces that are left over from creating this card. Yes, I am emotional about the Stamparatus. I can't believe there's like no replacement for it. They're going to retire it and have no replacement. I thought that was a staple. Like that's like to me, that's like having the paper trimmer. Like how can they get rid of a paper trimmer? That's how I feel about it. Yeah, so with the papers I have yesterday, so I have half a sheet of an 8.5 by 11, so I don't need to cut it. It's the exact same size. It's just a standard card size, so 8.5 by 11, chopped in half, and now I'm just going to score it because I didn't score this one. Let me just leave that so you can see it while we're making it. Okay, so just going to measure to 4 1/4 along the top here. Use the scoring blade so we can get a nice clean fold. Okay, that's one of the pieces. And if you're watching for the first time, I will post all the measurements for my project in the description afterwards, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. Okay, so this piece of paper is the exact width of the one that I cut already for yesterday, so I just need to cut this one down to, let's see, I think it's 3 inches. Let me just double check that before, because it's 3 by 3 5/8. Let me just double check I have the right measurement that I want to cut to. This is the 3 5/8 size, so I need to cut 3 inches for it. Okay, so that's 3 inches. Oh, Tara says maybe they're going to bring an updated version. That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not in this. Like, I didn't have time to go through the entire catalog yet. I mean, I just really quickly skimmed it last night. I didn't see anything new by way that could replace this. So, I don't know. Okay, so the white is going to be 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So this one is, I know it's the correct measurement one way. This is 4 7/8. So I need to cut 3 5/8 this way. And because I know it needs to line up with this, I'm just going to double check because I think it was just off by a hair yesterday and I had to trim it down a little bit. There we go. All right. All right, so that's my white piece. So these will go together like this, right? And I need a black mat for that. And that is 3 3/4 by 5. So this one is, nope, that's not the 5-inch. This is the 5-inch side. So I need to cut 3 3 3/4. 3 3/4 this way. Okay, so that's all the pieces of matting that we need. All right, let me put those aside. All right, so let's stamp. Have you ladies already looked at all the retiring colors? Do you guys have like favorites that you know are going away that you're sad about? Like I'm sad about Bermuda Bay and I'm sad about Rich Razzleberry because that's also another favorite of mine. And they used it in the Dainty Delights DSP, I think. Okay, so you can see that I already stamped this guy on the paper from yesterday, but then I realized there was a better way to do this because it was easier to line up this way. So I'm going to stick my paper right in the corner. Okay. All right. And because I'm going to move this one out of the way. Okay, so I know this guy has to sit here, right? So I want my cat to sit right on top of this line, right? So I'm going to put the paper there so I can it'll help me line up my cat. Oh, I have to tell you something. After I did this and I made the Siamese card, did you see my Siamese card? I know you did. Where'd it go? I don't know where the Siamese card went. Okay, anyways, I had seen another demonstrator cut apart the cat and the hearts, and I wasn't going to do it, but then I realized that it would be much easier to do the Siamese without the hearts in the way. And I think it'll be useful to have the hearts separate, so I actually cut it off. I couldn't believe I had to do that, and it was kind of scary because I was worried I was going to cut one of these edges, but I did it and it worked out fine. So that's the first time I've ever cut apart a stamp. I've seen other demonstrators do it for other stamps. That's that they wanted to, cut down the image so they could make more use out of it. And in this case, I think it is warranted. I think I like it, the hearts separate, and it was really, I had to do it in order to make my Siamese. So here's my cat. Yeah, I know, screams, eh? Like cutting a stamp, that's like terrifying. Okay, so I'm gonna line this up, and because you know that, you can't rely on the stamp image, like the sticker side, to be representative of what is on the back, I'm going to use it to, I'll use it to initially pick up the stamp, and then I'll look at the back and I'll see if it looks straight. Okay, so I'm just looking, I'm using the grid lines here on the panel, and to kind of gauge whether or not this looks straight, and I think it looks a tiny bit off. And this is where being a little bit picky about the alignment is going to pay off, because you want it to line up with that DSP, which is straight, right? So let's hope that I have it. I am like trying to just adjust it very lightly, and I don't have any grid lines here, so I think it looks okay. You know what? I can use my grid paper. So I have to bring it down here because I can't see and put my head in the way of the camera. How am I going to do this? Actually, I need to line it up against something. Anyways, however you do it, you just want to make sure it looks pretty straight, because you want it to line up with the paper. Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have to get the DSP out of the way. So we're going to stamp the top half first on the white. Okay. So I'm going to stick my lid underneath here so I can stamp on a more level edge. Oh yes, Sandra had to have, I remember you had those special scissors, and I was wondering if I needed a pair of special scissors to cut this, but I wanted to make that Siamese. I couldn't wait to have to borrow those scissors from you. Okay, so in order to get a really nice black image, you definitely need the Stamparatus, because look, like even just now I missed pressing on spots, right? And I'm going to stamp it twice. And I got to be careful, because with the red cling stamps, I have a tendency sometimes I forget and I press too hard, and it makes the edges blurry, because you're pressing so hard on the rubber, it actually gives, and you don't get a clear image. So, you don't want to press super hard, just firmly, but not super hard. Okay, so my paws keep getting missed. I'm missing the very center of that paw. I think I'm just going to ink that one paw just to try and get it a little bit darker. A nice, clean black image. I think everything else looks pretty good. I think that's about as bad as I can get. That's pretty good. All right. So let me clear this off, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this away, and we're going to just lightly stamp. We probably don't even need ink on it. I just want to see where that image is. And we're going to use that. Yeah, I'm going to put a tiny bit more ink. I'm going to use that to line it up with my purple DSP. Okay, so here's my purple DSP, and because I lined it up against the side of the Stamparatus, that's where I'm going to line it up again. Okay, so I want it to be just under the line where the kitty sits. Okay. And we're going to ink it up again, and we're going to stamp the bottom part onto the DSP. Okay, so let's do that again. So I'm just glancing back up at your comments. Sandra says she's happy about Pretty Peacock. Yes, I am happy about Pretty Peacock too. I like that color. I'm glad they're bringing it back. And I'm glad they're keeping Fresh Freesia too. I mean, that's this color. Oops. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Try and get that paw to be black. See, I'm pressing hard. I hope I didn't make it blurry. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. This is why I can't believe they're getting rid of the Stamparatus. Look how many times I've used this to like just ink up this cat. Like, you really need it to be black to make it look really crisp. I love how it looks when it's really black. Mutual fun? Oh, the autocomplete. What was the word supposed to be? A light wet. Okay. All right. So, I think that looks good. All right, so we're going to take this off now. I'm just going to put away the ink pad before I ink myself some more. Oh, and you know what? Now I'm going to have to do the hearts because I didn't have those before. And I could actually do them in a separate color now if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to keep them black to stay with the color scheme. I guess I could also stamp it in Fresh Freesia. All right. So let me take those off, and we'll bring the hearts. Oh, DSP, yeah. Okay, so where'd my cat go? Okay, so we'll put him back in the corner, and we'll put the hearts right here. Okay. All right, so let's quickly ink these up. And I'm going to do it second time. I think that's good. All right. So it's just a really easy trick to get rid of a gap when you're stamping on two different surfaces. And this was easy. Okay. All right, so let's assemble. Okay, so here's my card base. I see my bone folder. Okay, and the black mat with my kitty goes on here, right? I'm just going to show you how it layers. And then you should be able to just match this up, and look how great it looks. Right? Okay, so now I can glue it. I'm just going to get my glue out. Oops. I'm so used to using the glue. I have one tube of glue that I have to squeeze it like toothpaste. It's a solid. It was something happened to it during shipping, but I have to squeeze super hard to get it out. And I'm so used to it. And I used my I'm using the regular glue now, and I have to remember not to squeeze like hard at all, otherwise I get big blobs. Okay, so let's just center this. And this is why I like to use glue more, because I have a little bit of play time. Because when you have only a 1/16 of an inch to play with, it's a little harder to put it down first go perfectly. So that's pretty good. All right, and then we'll put this guy on top. Sandra, which color are you going to miss that's retiring? I know Evening Evergreen is Tara's favorite. Oh, trying to find a way to put this down and still line it up. Okay. Tiny piece of paper edge. Okay, there we go. Great. Doesn't that look great? He's just hanging over the edge there. Looks good. All right, so I need a piece of ribbon here. Where's my ribbon gone to? Mango Melody. Oh, yeah. Mango Melody is another favorite. Okay. So I'm just going to measure out enough to wrap around to the back. Okay, so I'm just going to put it here. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal to adhere the ribbon to when it wraps around. Okay. So I want it to wrap around approximately here. Oops, I have to go a little bit higher. My Stampin' Seal is a little bit higher on the back. I kind of guessed at where it was going to go, and it's okay to not get it exact because it's going to get covered up anyways, like the excess. There. All right. So I'm just going to put my silicone mat down so this doesn't get stuck to my table. All right, and I put a bow on it this time, but I think I'm just going to go with a simple knot this time. Let's see. So this is the easy way. You know, for a while there, I was doing it the hard way, trying to actually tie a knot and then measure out the ends to wrap around the side, and it was just ridiculous. This is so much easier. And plus, the good thing is if you tie it this way, you can move the knot around. You just slide it over if it was like, if you didn't place it properly. Right? There. So this is just a simple knot. And I'll just trim the end there. Okay. Same thing on this side. I think I cut the length a little bit short the first time. That's okay. It works out. There. All right, so there's my knot. And, oh, I forgot to stamp the happy birthday. let's do that. Okay, out comes the Stamparatus again. And I need a scrap piece of paper to do this on. I have yesterday's scrap. I think it's still big enough. Okay. There's quite a few new colors that are coming in. Like, there's a lot of new colors coming in this year. I'm surprised at how many there are. Not only are there new in colors coming for the next year, which is more of, I think they're more of like a desert theme color scheme. And then there's a blue that replaces the Bermuda Bay. It's called something Azure, I forget. And then there's a purple that I really like. It's a berry color, and that one's nice too. Okay, so let me position this. And again, I'm going to check on the back using my grid to make sure it looks straight. Okay, so, oh, I should just double check that I have enough room around here, whoops, to actually cut this out. Whoops, this is not, it keeps sticking to my magnets. All right, so yes, I do. I just wanted to make sure I had enough room on the top. I think we're good. All right. Azure Afternoon. Oh, okay, yeah, I think that's a nice blue, but I have to say Bermuda Bay is still my favorite. Go. And I'm going to do a second time to make it really clear. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of new colors that are absolutely brand new, and there are some that are actually old colors, the previous colors that they are bringing back. So Pretty Peacock is one of the old ones that they brought back. And then Boho Blue, like this, the color of this machine, is one of the new colors being introduced. Is that, I think, is part of the that's part of the In Color collection. Okay. I need the plates. Let's see if I remember how to do this, because you have to line them up in a particular way, right? So you have to make an E shape to get it to grab properly. So let me just line this guy up first. Get me a little bit more room on the right. Okay. And then let's put this on top. My hand's in the way. Okay. Yay! Is my bottom two, is it warped? No. It hasn't. I mean, it sometimes warps one way or the other if I use it a lot, but I just keep flipping it. So that's the trick with like these cutting plates, and is you always, oh, I don't know if I passed this tip along to you, Tara, but when we use our plates, this is something that actually Sandra told me, is that I always keep my top plate the top plate, and I always keep my bottom plate the bottom plate, and then you just keep flipping this one as you use it, and that will prevent them from warping really badly. And it's a really, really great tip, because I used to have to like press my plates down, and you can't line things up properly when it's warped. So it's a great tip. So just keep the bottom plate, the bottom plate, the top plate, the top plate. And then when this gets all worn out, the top plate will become your bottom plate, and you'll get a brand new plate to put on top. So that's how you keep it from warping and misbehaving when you use it. Okay, so we're done with this. Just going to move it out of the way. And let's put it all together. All right, so now I can stick this on because I put my ribbon on. Let's get some glue. Oh, that just popped up. Let me put a little bit more Stampin' Seal. I don't want to crease the paper. Let me just stick it down again, and I'll put a little bit of glue on it too. I think it still looks okay. All right. Oh, okay, yes, you need to flip it. So when it starts kind of arcing and it starts warping, flip it to the other side and start using the other side. But if you flip them regularly, they should stay fairly flat. Okay, so let's put this in the center. Looks good. And now I'm just going to use some dimensionals to attach this. Where's my dimensionals? So I'm going to use the little ones because I know I want to sit around the ribbon, not on it. Okay. Oops, that's not a separate dimensional. That was the border. All right. So this was like really easy card to make. Look, I am like so early. Normally it takes me the whole hour to do the front of the card, and I might even have time to do the inside today. So now I think that's about centered. Yeah, that looks about centered. Doesn't have to be centered, it just happens to be centered today. Oh, and I can color that in. Where'd my blends go? So I'm just going to color in that little heart. So I can make a bunch of these with different DSPs, and it'll look great. Okay, so that's the outside. And you know what I put on the inside? Again, I just cased what Helen Read had. She had slightly different DSP, different sentiment, but you know, that was easy to do. So I can finish the inside today because look, I already finished the outside and it's only, what, 40 minutes in. Wow. Okay, so let's do that. I'm just going to finish the card. I have white mats pre-cut because I use them all the time. So I like this size that always fits inside the card. I have a bunch of those pre-cut ahead of time, so I can just grab one, and that's just 1/4 of an inch smaller than the dimensions of the inside of the card. Oh, Stamparatus. Just a note. So the inside sentiment I actually grabbed from, let me just put this one away. It's also from this set, that's right. I can't remember if it was from a different set or not, but it's from this set too. Okay. So I'm going to put this farther away from the edge because it's a little easier to press down when it's not right close to the edge of the Stamparatus. Oops, my magnets are stuck together. All right. So let's put this here, and I put the other cat on the corner, so let's put him in there too. Okay. So let's put him down here, and the sentiment up here. Okay, and we'll check to see if they are straight. I think that the sentiment looks almost straight. I'm just, and this guy looks a little bit crooked, so I'm going to turn him a little bit. Okay. I think he looks good now. All right, so let's ink that up. Let me put something underneath here. This is a nice flat surface. Okay. All right, let's do it a second time. Yeah, if you have been looking at the Stamparatus and you had not decided to buy one yet, it's going to be retired soon. It'll be gone, and it'll only be as supplies last. So I don't know, how many they have in the warehouse, but and how long they'll have those available. But if you ever wanted to get one, now's the time to get it, because you won't be able to get it after, I guess, the new annual goes live. That'll be May, I can't remember what day it is. I am thinking it's like somewhere around May 4th. It's early May. But yeah, that's this tool. I don't know how I would live without it. Okay. So I can't get the middle of that H to come out. I don't know why. I had trouble with it yesterday too. I'm going to try one last time to get that middle of the H. Okay. That's as good as it's going to get. I think I filled it in with just a light pen marker. Let me clean these off so I don't get myself inked. And we'll stick that to the inside of the card. Whoops. And we need to color in that little heart. And that is our card today. So it's just a really easy, handy tip so that you don't get like that white gap here when you're stamping on two different papers. and it looks great. I love how this cat sits on the paper. I think I might make a bunch more with different DSPs and color combinations and have these handy because, you know, it's a really cute card. So that's today's card. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, comment and tell me, you know, where you're watching from if you're watching. And I hope you'll join me again next week for more crafting. Have a great week, everybody. See you later.